Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm Marcy, Content Manager at Strap, and I want to welcome our founder and CEO, Diego Roy.
Thank you, Marcy. Hello, everyone. This is a very important day for us today. We want to go through all the status of the manufacturing of the product, the delivery dates, and to answer any questions regarding the delivery, the device, or any other questions you may have to have a clear, honest, and transparent communication. First of all, just as a heads up, yesterday we had a really bad storm here in Guadalajara, Mexico. So we are half of the cities without electricity. So if there's any intermittence, please just wait for a couple of minutes. If by any case you're disconnected from the Zoom session, you will be reconnected automatically. You don't need to do anything. Just give it 1 minute so you can rejoin. With that said, I want to start by briefly telling you where we started and where we are today. The most important thing that probably everyone is wondering is the delivery date, right? Before this, I want to tell a really brief story. So we started the company almost 2 years ago in May of 2020, where first of all, we were a really early stage startup. And the startup doesn't have the resources or the necessary people to build a product from scratch since the beginning. So the first mission we had on Strap.tech was to actually prove to investors and to the world that we are capable to do this technology, because as you know, there's some other companies before that have promised this kind of products or similar devices, and they were not able to accomplish because technology, because resources, or any other subject. So the first thing we did was to hire 4 persons, which was what we could afford at that moment. So we hired an electrical engineer, a firmware engineer, operations guy, industrial designer, and myself. We started the company developing what we call a proof of concept. This is not the real product development stage, but this is like a pre-product stage, like a prototype, just to validate that we are able to make this work, to test it with real visually impaired and blind people, to test that we are actually solving a real problem and that they really like this. So we spent like 1 full semester, half of the year, developing this proof of concept, which was non-manufacturable, not certificable. It was just a prototype, but we used this to validate the proof of concept, and we did it successfully, fortunately. So after this, we used this proof of concept device and the testimonies we reach to go with venture capitals or with investor funds. And we proceed to actually raise the funds so we can hire the people, the amount of people with experience, with world-class experience on this kind of technology. And we move on after getting the resources. We hired around 25 persons, which is all the team we need to actually develop the product. We hire a full team of around 10 firmware engineers, 3 electrical engineers, 1 mechanical engineer, 1 industrial designer, the marketing team, back office team, and everything needed. Product management, architecture for the firmware, AI engineers, and we started to develop the product. We started in around early or mid 2021. So we have been in the actual product development so around 11 to 12 months now. So the real product era, the device we have promoting is finally finished its engineering. So after this around 1 year of fully embed ourselves into the product development, we finally finished. This is technology like never seen before, so it's really complex and new technology. There's no reference to look out. There's no documentation to look out. We're using cutting-edge sensors that were released in October of 2021. So all the sensors we're using, all the technology we're using, it's so new. We needed to go through a whole research and development stage to be able to create this technology. On the way, we actually end up creating like 6 invention patents for the obstacle detection algorithm, straight line navigation, haptic feedback. So we're really happy and glad to announce that for like finally all the product is ready, and right now we're just living with the manufacturing and shipping, all the logistics, so you can have your device on your home in really short time. So one of the most important points is about delivery times. We're going, well, first things I want to tell you that this is all communication has been aligned with the legal times, the raw materials, and the manufacturing times they have given to us. So firstly, after finishing the engineering of the product, the first thing you need to do as a product company, as an electronics company, is to make sure you're in compliance with certifications. In the United States, you have the FCC certification, which is really important. And in Europe, you have the CE certification and other certifications in other countries. But these are the main ones. If you pass these, you are passing almost all the world regarding certifications. So what we need to do is to assemble a small batch of products, around 10 to 15 products, and we send these to a lab, to an electronics laboratory in the USA, actually in San Diego. And the certification body proceeds to do all the testing. So these are all the testings necessary to ensure you will have a safe product in compliance with all the security standards, packaging standards, functioning standards. So these laboratories proceed to do some temperature tests, low temperatures, high temperatures, explosive tests. So make sure the battery or anything won't have any malfunction. We proceed to do all the like electric shock, short circuit testing, make sure the device has the correct protection in case any malfunction, make sure that we have a self-diagnosis algorithm in case there's any malfunction with your sensors or haptics. We need to make sure we can notice that and tell you so you don't have any security hazard with you. There's a lot of testings, communication testing, wireless signal testing, that the charger is safe, and this usually takes around 2 months. But because of COVID matters, these certification bodies has a lot of products on the queue. So we needed to start from all the way down on the queue, and we were up until we finally get our testing and our certifications in place. I'm also happy to announce those certifications. We already are in compliance. We have our certifications in place. So this is the first big epic after the engineering. So this means we can now proceed and do the manufacturing. We cannot do the manufacturing of the device before this, because if there's any test that we fail, we need to go back and rework and do the re-engineering to make sure this is okay. Fortunately, we didn't have this problem. So after we receive our certifications from the FCC and the CE, now it's time to purchase all the raw materials to be able to assemble our device. So we proceed and order all the plastic enclosures, all the semiconductors, all the electric circuits, all the fabric for the textiles and the harness. So all the pieces. So we went and started to purchase all the pieces, all the raw materials, and we got in front of another really big problem. And this is something probably most of you have heard or have heard news about it, which is the semiconductor shortage. So after this, we were on the rush to manufacture to be able to deliver, and our supply chain and manufacturing team was unable to find the components because there is no components at all right now. If you look on the press, Bloomberg, Business Insider, and some major media press companies have a lot of news and a lot of articles about this. Actually, there's articles that Toyota have need to pause their production because they were unable to find semiconductors. Tesla had to pause their production as well because Shenzhen was in a lockdown just some weeks ago, so there were no people to assemble the device. If you try to purchase a car, maybe some of you did or a friend of you did, they are delivering into 2 to 3 months because there's no components. So really big companies are struggling with this. This is a major crisis right now. But fortunately, we have seen the last month or so this supply be a little bit better. Now we have a little bit more stock of components. So in our side, we were purchasing the components as we had them. As we saw some little stuff, we purchased the components. So we have all our supply chain team hunting these products and these components and purchasing from small batches. I'm happy to announce as well that just last week we received the last part numbers. So right now we have all the materials we need to assemble your devices. We in our manufacturing warehouse, which is an amazing news. And now we are proceeding to actually assemble your products. After the assembly, it just goes through a policy test, and then we are going to ship it back at you to your homes. So this problem is the semiconductor crisis is still a big problem, but again, we are starting to see a little bit more stock than during the last month or during the last year. So this really was a delay for us and really unfortunate delay. We struggled a lot actually because If we find components, since the demand is so high and the supply is so low, we needed to buy part numbers at 3x, 5x, or even 10x the price. So our manufacturing budget was all messed up. We end up using a lot more money than we were expecting on the manufacturing because of the rise of the semiconductors purchase. If you want to validate this, you can go to the media and just look for semiconductor shortage or crisis, or you can even go to any semiconductor retail platform like DigiKey or Arrow or Mouser, and you can just surf during the components and you will see a lot of them in zero on stock. Just to give you a benchmark, in Strap, our technology has around 360 unique parts. So it's a really complex device with a lot of pieces. So as much pieces and components you have, as more difficult it is to find the components. But again, we finally have those sorted out, and we have all the components necessary to be able to fulfill all of the pre-orders and a little bit more of stock for new orders, right? Now, next May, 25th of May of just next month, we're having a worldwide launch event. So this is the normal keynote we do to actually communicate to everyone this is ready. We're launching the device in May, and you will start to receive your devices just after the couple of weeks after the launch event. You will have more detailed information about the actual dates and timeframes in the launch event, which is on May 25 again. This will be public. This session in particular is just for pre-orders. Here in the forum, we only have people that have pre-ordered the device, which, by the way, we're really grateful, because the only way we could be at this stage right now in the company on the product launching, the only way we will be able to have the resources to be able to hire the people and to put 2 years of our life just embedded and working tirelessly on this is thanks to all your early interest in the project. So we're really thankful for that. And again, at the end of the day, this is something we want to do for the community. It's something we are really passionate of. And without your support, without the support of early adopters, this will never be possible, because we will never be able to argument a need and to argument that people are really looking for one device like this. So today with us, I'm so happy that 2 of our really good friends of Strap and from myself are here with us as a special guest today. They develop a really important blind community to blind tech adventures. They also have a podcast and a YouTube channel, which is called Blind Tech Guys. So I want to welcome Kirt and Nimer. Kirt is a totally blind tech enthusiast with a passion for Braille. Kirt has years of experience with multiple screen readers and a deep love for accessibility gaming. He loves learning how any technology works, and it is forever assisting anyone that requires high tech know-how, right? Then we have, so Kirt, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now I want to introduce you to Nimer. Nimer is a totally blind and loves playing with the latest tech toys and has a passion in training individuals on how techy things work. Nimer worked for Google. He's a Googler on the Android team. When not at work in Google, Nimer loves to be outdoors, hiking on the water, playing in the snow, or simply reading a good book under a tree. So Nimer, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. You're on mute, Nimer. We cannot hear you. You unmute and mute yourself again. So please just click the button one time.
Okay, can
now
you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
My apologies, and hello, everyone, and I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much, Diego, for inviting the Blind Tech Adventures. We're very happy to work with you on this event.
It's a pleasure to be connected. So before going straight forward to all the questions, some of you people in the audience sent some questions on advance. So first of all, we're going to go through all these questions again to open the forum, so you can really ask me anything about the product, the company, or anything you would like to know. Before going to the questions in advance on the open forum, I want to have a little chat with Nimer. And Nimer, just for you to tell us a little bit about the experience we had in Fremont, how you were really concerned about the product delay, and you reached to us and asked us really concerned about the stage of the product, and then we have a chat. So what can you tell us about what you were thinking, and after conversation, what are your thoughts now?
Well, like some of you who are listening, I had a lot of problems with some of there were certainly were promised. We had some promised timelines, and those timelines didn't go through for various reasons. Some of the communications, I had a little bit of struggle with that, and I just had a lot of questions generally about how viable this product would be. There was, kind of a couple questions about the marketing of a cane replacement, things like that, and I pointed those out. And Diego was, he responded, and he came out here to Fremont, out of all places, in California, and we had a good lunch together. And I was able to ask him a lot of these questions, and I could tell you I wouldn't really be sitting here if I didn't get answers that answered these questions. But I recommended to him that we communicate with the rest of you about these problems that they're facing with the company, and about the supply chain issues, and try to give you a chance to ask your questions as well. And I did get to ask my questions, and I also got to play around with Strap, and it was a really great experience. I really was able to, play with a pre-production unit, so there certainly were a few issues along the way, but I was able to walk around without any cane or anything like that. I was able to walk around this restaurant that had some tables laid out, and went outside, and there were some things outside, and it really kind of put into perspective what this product is for, and how useful it could be. And so I'm excited to receive my pre-order along with you guys, and I'm happy to be here with Diego as well. But I think my questions were answered, and hopefully we can help answer yours as well.
Thank you so much, Nimer. Kirt?
Yeah, well, so I have not actually had the chance to test the unit yet. Nimmer was fortunate enough to be able to, and I shared a lot of the concerns about delays, and you told us what happened, and I respect that you reached out to us after we expressed our concerns. I guess my place I'm coming from is as a cane user, and I really want to see how this works as a cane user. So I had some concerns about only marketing as a cane replacement. There are a lot of different opinions in the blind community, and so I'm happy to get a pre-order and see how it's like working with a cane. And I'm open to something replacing a cane eventually. It would just have to do more than my cane does right now and do it better. But so that's kind of what brought me here and got me interested, because there are some things that canes don't do very well.
Totally, Kurt. We're going to talk a little bit deeper about the cane and replacement, and all these kind of topics. Before jumping straight forward to the advanced questions, I want to ask Nimer, so it's not me saying stuff, but for example, Nimer, you're working in Google, and you have launched different technology products on your career. So can you just explain on your point of view the complexity of launching a new tech product, and how sometimes these major issues, which are off our hand, of one company's hand, no matter the size, can affect the product delays? We cannot hear you anymore, but you are not on mute. I don't know what's happening. Still don't. Still don't. I cannot hear you still. Maybe you change your microphone settings or something.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my apologies. I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, so your question, I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
My question was that you're coming from a technology company where you have launched
Yes.
different technology products. What complexity this comes for a company launching totally new and cutting edge technology, and what's your experience on big or small companies have need to delay product launches because of major issues that are offhand of the
Yeah.
company.
This is a very common problem that companies face. It really is. Even larger companies, even a company like Google, there's a lot that goes into a launch, a lot that goes into, of course, getting certifications, but the engineering, the testing, the production, the supply chain, there's a lot that goes into it. And of course, the pandemic didn't help anybody. There was, that caused a lot of issues, a lot of supply chains problems, issues with hiring people. There's just definitely a lot of challenges. And as a small company, I would I would definitely say that the challenges are magnified for sure. There's more issues with all of these things, and that's definitely an understandable.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So now let's move forward to the actual questions. We're going to start with a question that were sent in advance. So I will ask Kirt to start to ask the first question, and we can switch one question Kirt and one question Nimer, and I will be happy to answer any question.
Sure. So these first few questions are from Pranav, and he sent these to us to our email at email@blindtechadventures.com. And the first question says, how does the language work? How will I know that there is a drop-off or ditch in front of me? And I'm guessing by language he means like the haptic feedback. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Maybe the word language is not the best way to communicate the haptic feedback system, but what it does is that the device has embedded on the back case of the device and embedded on the textiles, on the harness. We have 10 different haptic actuators. What's a haptic actuator? It's basically a vibration motor. Just like when your cell phone vibrates, when you have a notification or a call, it's the same component. So we have 10 of these, and having an array of 10 different haptic actuators enables us to actually play with the sequences, patterns, and strength and directions even of the haptic. So on the device, we have 4 main vibration patterns. The first vibration pattern, you will feel it just above your chest, like at the height of your shoulders, just after the chest. And there's 2 vibrations, one on each side of your body. So whenever you feel these high vibrations, you have a head obstacle. So this is our way to protect your head, which is a really important part of the body. And we don't want you to be hurt with a tree branch or a street signal or a cable or any other possible object or a public cell phone booth or whatever. So if you feel this vibration, again, just below your shoulders, above your chest, just right there in the middle, you know it's a high obstacle. So if you only feel that vibration, you can just crouch or tilt down, go over the object, and then you can stand up and continue walking. We have a second, the second main vibration pattern is where you have mid objects on your mid level. This can be columns, people, or walls, or any other big object that we have, taking all your body, like a wall, even glass, windows, and things like that. We are able to detect without any problem. So in this case, you will feel a vibration just in the middle of the device. In the middle of the device, a steady vibration on the middle of the device. And the vibration always goes with more strength as you get closer to the device, to the object or the obstacle. So firstly, you will hear like a weak vibration, and as you get closer to the obstacle, it will intensify its strength. The third part, then we have the low obstacles, everything that is below your waist, including irregularities on the floor. So for the floor area, we have 2 main different scenarios. Staircases, which you may want to go upstairs or downstairs. So in this case, you will start to feel what we call an animation. So since we have 10 haptic actuators, you will feel how the haptics move from one of to another. If you are in front on a upstairs, you will start to feel a vibration on the bottom of the case of the device, then a little bit upward, then on the middle of the device, then on the top of the device, and finally on your above the chest haptics. So this way you will feel how the steps are going up from the middle of your chest, with the stomach mouth, all the way to your chest. So this tells you that you are in front of an upstairs. If you're in front on a downstairs staircase, you will feel just the same, but the way around. The vibration will start on your chest, and will be start to go down gradually, until it reach the top part of the device. So this communicates you are in front on the downstairs. And then we have every obstacle that you may have on the floor. This can be a sidewalk, an inclined plane, can be a big hole on the street. This can be a cliff, a small cliff of a building or something. So in this case, you will feel a vibration on the bottom part of the device, but this is a different vibration, because instead of a steady vibration, this is an intermittent vibration. So it may sound a little bit funny, but just to give you an example, if you have a wall in front of you, you will feel in the middle of the device a vibration like this. But if you're on a cliff, for example, or you have a table or something below your waist, like a chair, a dog, or a bag on the floor, you will feel the vibration a little bit lower, again, on the bottom part of the device, and it will be intermittent. What does this mean? You will feel something like this. So that way, it's a below waist obstacle. You just to proceed to try to move your foot, and I mean not to kick the object, just to move your foot forward, so you can know if it's a chair, if it's a trash can, a bag, or whatever. And now you can decide if you want to go around the object, or you want to go on the object, because maybe you are finding the chair you were sitting down. So when you feel the vibration, you feel the chair, and then you can sit down. Or maybe it's your dog. And in case it's your dog, you don't want to step on him or on the animal, so you can just go around, or any other thing. So these are the main four vibrations we have in order to communicate you what's happening around, so you can actually decide if go around or towards the object.
Great, thank you. And I'll hand it off to Kirt.
You're in mute.
All right. So Praniv also wants to know how fast does the device work? Like, is it fast enough to detect a moving car which is moving in front of you, or is that too fast?
No, of course. One of the main concerns for us is security. Just as Kirt, you were saying in a moment, the whole mission of Strap and the whole scope of development was to be able to do everything that the Canes does, and add everything that the cane does not do, so we can have a really complete tool. So the device is really fast. We're running 2 AI neural networks or neural engines inside our device, so they are really fast. They are always learning of everything. And we have really cutting edge sensor. We have the best LiDAR and ultrasonic sensors on the market that are right now. So they are really fast. Our microprocessor, which is where all the logic of the algorithms are processing, is one of the highest end embedded microprocessors prepared to process AI. So you can be sure the device is really, really, really reactive. And even if you pass a hand over a person really quickly, they will feel it. If a person is walking like on the way of the user, they will feel it and they will stop. We can detect things as slim as a cable, as your phone charger, things like that. So you don't need to worry about the reactivity of the device.
All right, that's very good to know. All right, back over to Nimer.
All right. And I think you might have answered this already. Can it detect animals like stray dogs or cats?
Yes, the answer is yes. Our low obstacles algorithm allows us to detect any irregularity on the floor, from a pothole to a little step, all the way to animals or bags on the floor.
All right. Kirt?
All right. Pranav also wants to know, when can we expect our credit cards to be charged? And he says if the device ships by the first week of July. He can ask a cousin who's coming from the USA the first week of July to bring it for him, which will help with customs duties. So he's just wondering when the cards will be charged and when they'll be shipped.
This is a really, really great question. So your cards will be charged after we give your product to the delivery company. So when our carrier company have the devices and it's not in our hand anymore, we will charge the card. You don't need to worry about anything. We have a 30 days satisfaction guarantee. So if you receive your device and you're not happy with it, you can always ship it back, no questions asked, and you will receive a full refund. So you don't need to worry about losing your money. And regarding the shipping, so again, we are going to give all this information in more detail on the launch event, which is May 2025. Right now, we're manufacturing the devices on our manufacturing warehouse, and we're just waiting for the final lead times, which we are aiming to be no more than 60 days after the launch event. So we're talking about no more than 3 months where you are going to be able to receive your device in the comfort of your home. I know that this is not the greatest news ever since it's a couple of months still, but we are really close. It's the final lap, engineering is ready, and we just need to build and assemble the units.
Okay.
And just as a follow-up add-on to that question, then I just want to make sure there's some users who have ordered, and I've seen this question asked, and they're are they going to have a chance to update their cards that they put on for the pre-order? Because some people put their pre-orders a year or two ago.
Yes, we're going to send, just after the launch event on May 25, we're going to send all of you an email so you can input there your shipping address. We were not asking for shipping addresses before. Some people have asked this as well, because again, just as Nimer mentioned, since there has been people waiting for the unit for a month or even a year now, you may change from home or you may be traveling. So just after the launch event, you can expect an email from you asking for your size of your device. We will provide all the size chart information, so you don't need to worry about that. And we are going to ask your shipping address, so you can update where you want us to send your device. And finally, if you have any change to your credit card, you will be redirected to a secure link, so you can redo the checkout, and we will charge the rest of the device due.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the next question here is also from Pranav. He sent us lots of questions, but this is good. Let's see. He says, can a device handle high temperatures like, for example, I guess in India they get up to 44 degrees Celsius?
It's so good having questions from India. Yes, you don't need to worry about temperature. Actually, this is one of the kind of tests that the electronic certifications need to do to us. So we go to super high temperatures and super low temperatures and really make sure that the device has the protection and the capabilities necessary to be able to work correctly on any kind of temperature or weather. I mean, just the only weather may not work correctly is with really heavy storms. But this is just like your cell phone. Just as you cannot use your cell phone in a really heavy storm without any umbrella, you won't be able to use the device. But if you have an umbrella, you're good to go and you can continue.
So we can't use it in heavy storms. How about extreme cold? I know I used to live in northern Minnesota where it was probably about 30 or 40 degrees below zero.
Fahrenheit, right?
Fahrenheit, I mean, at that temperature, Celsius and Fahrenheit are the same.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Yes. You can use your device on the snow without any problem. Again, if it's like a really bad blizzard or heavy storm, I mean, just like a motorcycle or a car won't even work. So I mean, what I want to be clear is there's some limitations, where the limitation spectrum is really narrow. So you will be able to use your device in most weathers in all this, but you cannot go into an hurricane and expect this is working. So just as any other electronic product, but you don't need to worry about storm, light rain, or really hot weathers. You don't have anything to worry about.
Well, just a tip for the audience: please don't go walking around in a hurricane. Okay.
It probably sounds wise.
Yeah.
Final question from Pranav here is he wanted to know if you will have telephone support. So if there are any issues, if you'll introduce like telephone technical support.
Yes, this is a really important question. I'm glad this guy asked before because we don't want you to be in the middle of the street or on the city without any kind of support, right? So first of all, you can use your strap device with your cane, or you can just put the cane on your backpack or in your bag. You can do that anytime. But in your website, you're going to find after the launch event, after you start to receive your units, customer support body, so you can be texting on your phone in case you have any non-urgent customer support ticket. But if you are on the way, if you're on the go and you have any problem, we will always have a 24/7 line available in all the languages we are shipping our devices, Spanish, English, and other languages. So you can make sure you will have someone to providing your customer support to guide you and to make sure you get to a safe place, or to help you to troubleshoot your device so you can continue your navigation on the world.
Okay, now these questions are from the Blind Tech Adventures, and I know that we're known for asking some a little bit more tough questions. So here comes the tough questions.
Go ahead.
Can Aura be used with a cane rather as a cane replacement? Do canes interfere with Aura's depth sensors?
This is a really good question, guys. The quick answer is yes. You can always use your Aura device with your cane, but you will need to deactivate the floor sensors because then the sensors might detect the cane as an obstacle, right? So you will learn this through our launch event and through our learning mode, which I want to go to the learning mode in a moment. But we will teach you how to deactivate the down sensors, so you can use your cane for all the floor objects and use the mid and high sensors to protect all the upper part of your body, and to be able to use other features we have, like the straight line navigation and all the other features we have.
So you're not going to take the canes away from everyone?
No, you don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Honestly, what we hope is that someday, after you use your Aura device with your cane, we actually hope and we're confident that one day you will say, okay, I'm going to a grocery store, I know where it is, I'm on my neighborhood, so I may put my cane on my backpack. And you will see, you will experience how seamless is to move around hands-free and without tapping the floor or people's legs or the furniture. So it's really an amazing experience. So you can always use your device with your cane. You don't need to worry about that. But we really hope that one day by yourself you decide to just put it away for a moment.
One thing as a guide dog user, I will say that I found the experience of walking with our strap very similar to walking around with a dog. So I'm a guide dog user myself, and for anybody who's used a guide dog, you will know that guide dogs kind of tend to avoid obstacles, and they just kind of walk around things. And so at least for guide dog users, this is going to be quite familiar in terms of how you get around and what kind of information you get when you walk around.
Totally, it's a really similar experience.
Yeah. All right, Kurt.
All right. So how will it take for all the pre-orders to ship? Will you send the pre-orders out just in one big batch after launch, or will you send them out in smaller batches as you know they get assembled and tested and all that?
It's a really good question. So we're going to ship all the pre-orders at the same time. So there's no, so you can have all your pre-orders. So we are making sure we have all the materials to fulfill all the pre-orders, and the devices are not assembly one by one. We are assembly on the production line. So they are all being assembled at the same time. So we are going to ship all of them at the same time. We are producing a little bit more stock of units, so any order after the launch event is purchased, we can send really quickly. But if we run out of stock with the new orders, we are going to need to go back, do again the manufacturing, and continue to ship.
Okay.
You are definitely not the first company promising revolutionary devices for the blind. There's been quite a lot of these, smart canes, this and that. Lots of devices. We had the buzz clips. We had even that used haptic feedback. There's been a lot of these things. And as a community, the Sunu band. As a community, the blind community kind of has really stopped listening to these companies a long time ago, because really companies just kind of tell you what they're going to do, and then people get a product and that product just isn't very good. So what makes you any different? Or they don't ship it at all. So what makes you any different?
This is a really tough question, but I actually like the question a lot. So, okay. Actually, this is a thing that have harmed us a little bit, because, as you said, there's other assistive technology companies or startups mainly that have tried to solve this problem. So, so as we mentioned before, you already know that you can always use your other device with your cane. So you don't need to give up your cane, and you can use it like for all the time with your cane, and you won't have any problem, and you're good to go. But to be able to make sure we were a successful company to deliver a successful product, we needed a couple things. The first thing is a world-class team. That's why we firstly started with a product, with a proof of concept I mentioned in the beginning of the session. Because if we started to do the full product since the beginning, we will end up shipping a not so good product. So we took the time to actually make sure we have all the resources we need to hire world-class people in accessibility, in artificial intelligence, and on all the experience we need to actually deliver these products. Another really important factor is the timing. As I mentioned, the sensors we use were released to the market on October of 2021. I'm sorry, October of 2020. So they are really new sensors. Actually, there's no other product on the market right now on any industry using these sensors already, because all the companies are starting to use them for new products. So, and these sensors, the reason we are using these so new sensors is because they are the only sensors we found available on the market that really have the performance to actually be able to understand what's happening on the environment and to detect obstacles and hazards in a really precise way. So that's the first thing. All the other companies were started years ago, and the technology years ago on these obstacle detection sensors were not so good. What has happened to make these sensors better? And the answer here is the autonomous car industry. So you can think about our device like autonomous cars for the blind. It's just the same technology, it's the same concepts. So we are bringing Tesla's or Waymo's car technology on a really small package on a wearable device for humans. This has never been able to do before, because with all these companies, autonomous driving companies, starting to develop technology, they started to release off-shelf sensors with the new capabilities. So this whole R&D that we have seen in autonomous driving companies have make us able to be able to develop these kind of devices. So that's the second thing where you can know timing. Timing is a really important thing, because the technology you have available and the components you have available to build your device are really important. Another thing really important to mention is, like, for example, Sunu, Ultracane, Boss Clip. They only solve one problem. Boss Clip has one ultrasonic sensor and one haptic. Sunu has only one ultrasonic sensor as well and one haptic on the wares. Ultracane has only two ultrasonic sensors. In our case, we have 6 ultrasonic sensors and 3 LiDAR sensors. So we have 9 different obstacle detection sensors to be able to reach all the scope of your body, so we can fully protect all your body area. So this is really important to understand. There's no other product using high-end artificial intelligence to really understand the world, because we can never be able to code all the possible obstacles you may go with on your daily life. Different countries have different infrastructure, are in different maintenance status. So if we didn't use a network that learns from all the devices and learns from all the world, we will never be able to program all the obstacles you may go in front. So we are actually, for the first time ever in assistive technology, delivering truly cutting edge technology so you can make sure you are being taken care with this electronic guide or mobility tool like no other way. I don't know if I asked correctly your question or you want me to go a little bit deeper on that.
I think that answers the question. So it differentiates you, to be clear, is you have more sensors, and you're coming at it with newer technology, and so you believe that sets you apart from these other companies.
Yes, one other big problem about the other products is like you usually wear them on the hand of your cane. So for example, the Sunoband, you have it on the hand of your cane. But if you are moving your cane because you need to tap, the sensor is moving. So the sensor doesn't have a real reference point. So the sensor will have a lot of noise. The boss clip, since it's only a clip on your cloth, is moving because it's kind of heavy for the cloth, for the fabric of your t-shirt. So you may be able to move as you walk around. The Ultra cane is just the same. You have the sensors on the cane handle, so they are moving, so they are not precise. That's why we decided to put our device on the chest. It's the most steady part of your body, and your chest is always going to look towards the way you are walking. Because, for example, I don't know if you know about eyeglasses, which I don't know what happened on the design of eyeglasses, because there's eyeglasses like glasses for your eyes with the sensors, but the blind is not used to have their head exactly towards the way they are walking because they don't have the need to. So eyeglasses sensors were looking to a completely other angle than the real direction of the user. So we actually can see a lack of user investigation or research at the time to make that product. So we make sure, I'm not blind. So the one big risk of a company about me, a non-blind person leading a company of assistive tech for the blind, is that sometimes we may end up working with assumptions, assuming that you need or you behave in a certain way. So since the beginning of our development, we made sure we never did this kind of wrong assumptions and always be testing directly with real blind and visually impaired people to make sure we're solving their problems and not our assumptions.
Excellent.
Very good. All right, Diego. So as your technology and product design matures, how do you plan on selling RR Strap to more mainstream blind customers instead of us early adopter types who are willing to test a brand new, proof of concept product?
Really good question, Kurt. So right now, just after the launch event, as I mentioned, we're going to fulfill all the pre-orders and start to receive real orders with a complete price. So after May 25, the pre-order discount is gone, and you will need to pay your unit in full, and it's going to the price is going to be $750. So we're going to change the pricing to the launch price, and after that, our marketing team, our distribution team is already working with big resellers like Amazon, so you can really be able to purchase your device on Amazon really easy on our website. And after that, we're moving towards distribution companies, blind schools, blind universities, and even NGOs and non-NGOs, so we can make sure everyone can have access to a device like this. So we are making a lot of efforts to have an amazing distribution channel, so no one will want the device and not be able to have it.
That's very good to hear, because I at least came at this pre-order more. I want to test where the technology is and how it's working and how useful this thing is. But I think there are lots of other blind people who want something more. I don't know if stable is the right word, but something more established that they can say, I know this works because it's been around for a while and I've been using my cane for all 60 years that I've been alive, or whatever the case may be. So, I'm glad to know that you're thinking of people more than just us, people who like to test and tinker with things.
Great. Just a little parenthesis for all the audience. We have only 3 more advanced questions left. So please, you can start typing in your questions on the Q&A box on the chat. We already have a couple of them. So please, you can start writing your questions because we're moving towards answering those questions in a moment.
Perfect.
Yep. So these questions actually, these last three came in to you guys from other individuals. So this first question came in by Jeff Emerson. And Jeff Emerson wants to know, who is behind Strap.tech? Who validates Strap?
This is a good question. So as you know, we are a new company, so we don't have a reputation of delivering products built yet. So this is the first product we're launching. So far, we have, again, a world-class team. We have our technology director, for example. Technology officer is a senior guy from Samsung. He was leading the whole research and development department of Samsung in the United States, with managing 900 engineers and $1 billion budget. So we have an amazing world-class team leading our technology. On the marketing side, we have Natalia, who has worked launching products for startups before and with major companies and brands like Shake Shack, Disney, Fox TV, Sephora, and other brands. So I made sure to have a directors team really world class, so we can make sure we have an amazing, well-run company to be able to mitigate any risk that we can have on the product development, and we finally did it. We have been in touch with the blind community, with you guys, with the Blind Tech Adventures, and with other media key players in the community. And just after the launch event, you will start to see Strap and to hear about Strap everywhere. We're going to run some campaigns with NGOs, with blind schools. We're going to be really involved in the community, so you can expect us to be in the conversations of the assistive tech community and ecosystem, to make sure we are present. We are active players on this field, and you will always be able to reach us to our emails if you have any further question or any question of what we are.
Excellent.
Very good. All right, now we've got a question from Leah Garcia. Hope I said your name right there, Leah. Leah wants to know, does the device have guarantees?
Yes. As I mentioned before, you have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like your product, you can ship it back, no questions asked, with a full refund. And we also have any malfunction 2-year guarantee. In case anything happened with your device, you can always ship it back, and we will or fix it or ship a new device to you.
Oh, very good.
Excellent. And the final question, and I think you've been talking about this entire time, but this comes from Ethan Larson. And the question says, how complex and safe is your technology?
Yeah, we already run a little bit into this, but the fact we have so much sensors, the fact we have the AI running, already trained, of course, the fact that we were on the R&D so long to make sure we have a really cutting edge, a really innovative, and a really reliable device for you to take care about your security and your navigation. You can make sure this is totally safe. We have tested our device with over 250 different users during the development stage of the product. So, and we run a beta testing round just to make sure before you receive your units, you have a really safe and secure unit. And we actually, after our beta testing studies, we accomplished to reduce the amount of hits with obstacles blind people have up to 90%. So with a cane, I mean, guys, you won't let me lie, but what other blind people have told me, and visually impaired people as well, that even with a cane, the daily life of a blind person is still hitting themselves a little bit in the head, in the shoulders, and with maybe when you were like traveling your cane from one side to the other, you miss one little obstacle. So these kind of things, we are reducing up to 90% of the hits versus a white cane, which is really nice. So you can make sure it's a really safe device. Now, guys, thank you so much, Nimer and Kirt. We're going to move forward with Marcy. Marcy is going to read all the chat questions, so we can continue and really make you, audience, ask me anything. Nimer, Kirt, you can stay here if you want to add anything to my answer or to the question, please feel free to do it.
Of course, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay, so
Marce?
the first question is by Dr. DeLeo, and is, what about a blind person with cognitive impairment? Will he or she be able to use Strap adequately?
This is a really interesting question. To be honest, we have not tested the device with cognitive impaired people, but our haptic language feedback is not a rational feedback. It's a reactive feedback because we use that sense of touch, right? And the sense of touch travels through the nervous system. And this system, the nervous system, is a survival system. It's not a functional system. What I mean by this, when you grab a hot plate or a hot item, you don't actually think about that it's hot and you need to left it behind because you're going to burn yourself. You just throw it away in a really reactive way. So that's why we decided to use the haptics. Firstly, because we don't want to take away the hearing from you because you use it for a lot of stuff during your day. So we don't want to take away that from you so you can use your device. So that's why we choose the haptic. So again, it's really easy to use. It's really easy and intuitive. So everything goes towards that won't be any problem for this kind of cognitive impairments to use your device. But again, you can always purchase your device, and if you are not satisfied with it, you can return it back with a full refund.
Okay, we have another question. It is, how will the client know how to use the product? It's by Jenny.
Jenny, this is an amazing question. When you firstly open your device, you will run into something we call learning mode. Of course, we are not expecting you to read an instruction manual because that will be archaic. And our whole mission in Strap is for you to be more autonomous than you already are. And this starts by being able to set up your device just by yourself without needing to ask for help. So in your packaging, you will find a pair of headphones, of earbuds. So we have an audio jack port on our device. So you just need to plug in your headphones. And when you turn on your device for the first time, you will start to hear the learning mode, which is an audio instruction manual. And it's actually interactive. So instead of only being like an audiobook reading you what to do, it's interactive. So it will tell you when you feel this, and you will proceed to feel the haptic, and it will describe you what does that vibration mean, just for you to really make sure you learn your device, how to use your device. The first time you need to go, like we force you to go through all the learning mode. But after you went to the learning mode once, you can always go back to a learning mode and actually navigate through the sections with our buttons. So you can just go back and rehear any specific part of the instruction manual you want to reference back. We're also going to upload our learning mode audio in our Spotify channel. So in case you don't want to plug in your headphones or something, you can always on your phone, you can tap Strap.tech on Spotify, and you will find an episode called Learning Mode, and that's the same instruction manual for you to be able to have it anywhere. You will also find a link to our learning mode instruction manual on your website. So we are making really easy and frictionless for you to learn how to use the device in a really interactive and fun way. And again, actually, it's really easy to use. But this learning mode will teach you what are all the buttons for. We have 4 buttons on the device, what are the haptic feels like, and what you can expect and not expect of the unit. So this is the way you learn how to use the device.
Okay, we have 2 similar questions. One is by an anonymous assistant, and the other one is by Ronald. And it's, how does ARA work with the code in cold weather? I'm picturing an outer device which gets info from the environment, and an inner device which communicates the findings with the user. Can ARA see through a code?
This is a really good question as well. So regarding the codes, no, we cannot see beyond the fabric, but our harness is actually made of really elastic, really high quality elastic material. So if you put several layers of cloth in front, like with you can always put your device in front, and no matter the size you order, you will be able to adjust the straps of the device, so you can make it fit with a big heavy jacket. If you have like a suit, a jacket from a suit or something, or just a light jacket, you can always keep your jacket without the zipper, like just open the jacket and you can put your device behind the jacket, just making sure there's no fabric on the front case of the device. We know this is I mean, this is the first product like this ever before. So we are right now in our R&D department trying to make these be able to see obstacles through fabrics. Well, that will be beyond these products. And the other question was, I'm picturing another device which gets info from the environment and a inner device which communicates the findings with the user. So I'm not completely sure what you're meaning with this. If you can type on the chat just a brief explanation about this, I will appreciate. But you use the same device. We have one algorithm we call adaptive performance system. And this adaptive performance system understands factors of your environment. It will understand if you are indoors or outdoors. It will know how fast you are moving and will iterate or edit the performance of the device depending on your environment. So if you're in an indoors environment, we know people only steady furniture, the device will reduce. And if you're moving slow, the device will reduce a little bit the distance that it will start to notify you from objects. That might be maybe 75 centimeters. But if you're outdoors, moving faster with more people around, the device will identify these and will make longer, will longer the notification distance about obstacles. So as fast as you are moving, as more time in anticipation, we told you about obstacles. So we're able to identify which kind of environment you are and make sure you have the greatest user experience you can find in any other assistive technology devices.
Okay, so Judith Long is asking, I placed my pre-order before we could select a size for Ara. When would we have the opportunity to pick our size? And what are the guidelines to help us choose the best size?
Good question. Thank you, Judith. As mentioned before, just after the launch event on May 25, you will receive an email for you to update us your shipping address, your size, which will come with size chart documentation. We only have 2 sizes, so it's really easy to use your size. You don't need to worry about that. And if in case you want to update your credit card, we will redirect you to a secure checkout link so you can type your credit card information and update the payment channel.
So Judith has another question, and it is possible to run our bike independently using Ara?
This is a nice question. Actually, this is one of our goals. Today, you are not able to ride a bike by yourself with Ara, but it's one of our main goals. Our main goal is for all of you to be able to ride a bike or a skateboard without needing assistance, hearing aids, someone communicating with you, or any other tool. Our first milestone is to make a blind person run a full marathon without any assistance but per device. And our second big epic milestone is to be able to make vision impaired people to drive a bike. So we are moving towards this. We are really committed with our mission on providing more autonomy to enable you to make any activity you like. So you can count on that on the future.
So thank you, Amanda, for your question and for your comment. And is, how will I know if the device fails? Will it give a special haptic signal when the battery dies?
Good question. So every day we run what we call a self-test or a self-diagnosis for device to make sure all the sensors are working correctly, all the haptics are working correctly. So every day we will do this self-diagnostic, and in any case the device detects something unusual, it will redo the test no matter if as much time as is needed. If on the learning mode it will on detail explain you how does the device communicate with you. We have a buzzer, like a beeping buzzer. So depending on the buzzing, on the haptic, how the haptics are vibrating, you will know if there's something, any malfunction. So you know you cannot use your device and you need to go to support. So this is really important. So we run this self-diagnostic every time, and you will notice that with the buzzer. When you so the on and off of the device is through a long press on the central bottom of your device. But if you don't do a long press and if you do a short press, just a one click on that button, it will tell you the battery life. So how we give you the battery life is like a power bank where we have 4 beeps. Each beep it's meant for a 25 for a quarter of the battery. So if you click the battery button and you hear 4 beeps, you know you have fully charged. If you hear 3 beeps, you know you are 75%. You hear 2 beeps, you know you are 50%. And if you hear 1 beep, you know it's 25%. When the battery is low and you need to really charge your device, it will give you another kind of a charging beep. So the battery life, in case there's some questions regarding the battery life, is of about one full day of use, of average use of your day life. So you will be charging your device really closely synchronized with your cell phone charging cycle. If you are on the go, if you're outside and you are running out of battery, you can always plug in the power bank and you're good to go again because it will power feed the device through the power bank battery. So you can always do that. And we charge our device through a USB-C cable. So we are using a universal charging cable to make sure if you don't have a cable, you can find really easily a cable so you can charge your device.
Wow, you're using USB-C. I know a lot of these products still use micro USB. Wow.
Yeah, we didn't want to be those guys.
Thank you, Diego. Margaret is asking, will the strap be able to go through airport scanners?
This is a nice question. Yes, you will need to take off your device and put it on the box. You need to put it to pass through your laptop and all the electronics, but you don't want to have any problem. I mean, airports are all over the world, so you might be on the scenario where some security guy will ask you what you are wearing, where you can always open a website and you won't have any problem. Just you need to be conscious that you will need to put away your device, put it on the box so it can go through the X-ray scanner, and then you can put it back on, and you don't need to worry about that.
I will say that for assistive devices, a lot of times at airports, you can send through an assistive device like Strap. You can send it through, and then once it goes through the scanner, they can hand it back to you so you can go through the metal detectors as well. So they will do that if that's what you want to do, is go through them without with Strap on.
Nice. Good to know. I didn't know that.
Arnav is asking, what happens if I am moving furniture, which means I will have something in front of me and of my chest? What will Strap do?
It will vibrate. So if you're like pushing your furniture, if you're pushing your furniture, the device will detect, of course, the furniture as an obstacle because we don't really have a way. We don't have cameras on Strap. Because the cameras are really slow and you need a lot of processing power, and that's why we have other products on the market right now that use cameras, and they are kind of, I mean, they can be really useful, but they are kind of dumb, like slow or not as quick or responding as we are. So that's why we don't use cameras to protect you. So the furniture will be detected as an obstacle. So I don't have an amazing answer for this question, but that's how it will work.
Thank you, Diego. Stuart is asking, can I assist the user to find and navigate safely through an open doorway?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Can ARA assist the user to find and navigate safely through an open doorway?
I'm sorry. Can you guys explain me what's a doorway?
I think the answer is yes. So you can detect, like when you're going through a door, can it detect so that you can get through the door without running into the frame or something like that? And the answer is yes. So yeah.
Yes. As you move towards the hallway or something, whenever there's the door open, you will stop to feel the vibration. So you know that's the exit that you can continue your way.
You can kind of center yourself. So, if you feel no vibrations in front of you, but if you turn a little bit, there's vibrations, you can kind of center yourself so you can get through a doorway. I mean, that's my experience with it anyway.
Okay. And we have a comment and with some questions, and it's, I'm really excited that I might able to use this to get around without my cane, but I'm also nervous to not use my cane at first. If I try to use my cane with the device, will it create the haptic feedback too? Will I have to feel my cane moving on the haptics, or will the cane be close enough to, it won't trigger them?
Erin, this is a good question. So you can turn off the floor sensors from your device and turn them off or deactivate them so you can use your cane. If you don't want to turn them off, you will indeed feel the vibration detecting the cane as an obstacle. Because the material of the canes, there are a lot of materials. We have glass fiber, we have aluminum, we even have like titanium and a lot of different materials of different kind of canes. So we cannot actually discriminate these materials because on the world and the city and on the rural places, you might get into an obstacle with those materials. So for your security, we cannot discriminate the cane from the sensor. So you can always turn off the down sensors, or you can just be conscious that you will feel the haptic vibration with your cane. But again, we always recommend you to use your strap device, your ARA device, for the first week or so of using it with your cane. So you can have this learning curve and you can get used to it. And after 2 weeks or so of using our device, you will find that you are really comfortable with it, and actually you forget you're wearing it, and you just react and freely simply move within the haptics, and they are guiding you, avoiding all the obstacles. So yeah, you can use your cane and you can deactivate the down sensors.
Brenda's question is, I live in an island in Alaska. How does this work in rural areas?
And rural areas work just fine. Actually, usually in your rural areas, you don't have so much obstacles than in a really big city with a lot of people. So the experience is really nice. You don't need to worry about any rural areas. We do have firmware and software updates through Wi-Fi. So I mean, the only thing you will need to do is have a Wi-Fi connection just to make sure your device is fully updated. But since you are on this Zoom, I'm assuming you won't have any problem with that connection.
Thank you, Diego. This is the last question, and it's by Corey. Does the device have an app or hardware support for a future app such as Bluetooth? And is there a way to add it to a network if there is not Wi-Fi protected setup button available? Does it receive updates?
Really good question. So yes, our device is packed with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth communications. Just around a quarter after launching our product on May, we are going to release our mobile app. So you can edit settings and update your product with the app. On the meantime, you can always use your router. So you will need that double GPS button. So you click the double GPS button and you click the Wi-Fi button code on your device, and it will link to your modem automatically. So every time you're in your house or in your work, it will connect by itself. You don't need to worry about software updates. You don't need to do anything. We will update in an automatically way. And in case you don't have a WPS service or it's not enabled on your router, you can wait until the mobile app is ready, and you don't need to be worried because we are not sending updates on the first quarter, and we're going to start to keep sending updates just after 1 quarter of launching. So you don't need to worry about it. You can either use your phone through Bluetooth or your router through Wi-Fi.
Thank you, Diego. We have the last one, and it is by Stuart. Does ARA have a sleeping mode? I'm assuming that when you are standing still, sleep mode will be activated, and when begin moving again, the device will automatically be reactivated.
Wow, Stuart, it's like you have seen our in-house developments or something, because we have a feature which is called Smart On and Off. This feature will turn your device on and will turn your device to sleep depending on your needs. So if you are walking on the city and you, I don't know, if you run into a friend and you start talking with a friend and it's in front of you, the device will know that that you are talking with a person, and will know you are standing still, that there is no danger. So after a couple of seconds, it will turn off, so you don't have to be feeling the haptic vibration where you don't need to because you are chatting with a friend. If you are at a table and you sit down, the device will identify you sat down, and it will turn off automatically. The moment you stand up, or you do a step, or you just walk one step, the device will know the device needs to be on again, and it will turn on automatically. So the whole mission of this feature is that you don't need to worry, care, or think about your device anytime during the day. You just turn it on the morning, and it will turn on and off pertinently during the day without you needing to push any button at all.
Just wanted to say there's another question here from Amanda. I think it's a good question about straight line navigation. Hoping that you'll address that very last question. I know we keep saying last question.
Great.
Yes.
I think we have one more question.
I will read it. How does straight line mode work? Do you have to activate it explicitly?
Yes. So just really quickly, I'm going to go through the UI of the device. So the device is like a like a soap, right? So you have this device on the chest. So on the upper part of the device, you have the power on and off button and the battery status button. Then on the right side of your device, just on the center of the right side, you will have a multi-use button. And on the left side of your device, you will have two buttons that are used for volume and for navigation. So if you long press a multi-use button, you will activate the straight line navigation. You will hear a beep to know that your straight line navigation is correctly activated. And from that, it will map a straight lane an imaginary straight lane on the floor. And whenever you are off the lane, you will feel two haptics on the side of your body, like kind of on the ribs of your body, and it will vibrate the side you need to go back. So this way you are on a straight line. So that's how you turn on the straight line navigation and how it works. If you want to turn it off, you long press again your multi-use button and you are deactivating, and you will have an audio feedback with the buzzer telling you that it's correctly deactivated.
And I will say that when I tried the straight line navigation mode, it worked really well. I didn't have too many issues with it. The biggest issue that I think some might run into is that you have to make sure that you are facing in the same direction that you want to walk straight, exactly lined up with the direction you want to walk straight before you activate this mode. So you can't activate it, turn some other direction, and start walking. But it it works really well. So it's an exciting feature.
Thank you. So I'm writing the last question to close. Marcia, please go on.
Okay. Yeah, is the vest washable?
You can hand wash the fabric. You cannot put your device on your washer machine because we have electronics inside, right? And so you cannot like completely put your device into water. It's splash proof, but it's not waterproof. So you cannot go and swim with your device or on the sea or in a pool or on the wash machine. But you can always grab a brush, and with some soap, you can just brush the fabrics and it's washable. The fabrics are really breathable, and we have little fabrics. So it's just like a harness around your, like over your shoulders and around your core. So there's little fabric, and it's mostly odorless. So you won't have to wash it really often. But in case you have anything like fully falling on your device or something. You just brush it with a little bit of soap and water, and it dries really quickly. So thank you everyone to walk with us today. Thank you friends Nimer and Kirt from Tech Adventures for all the thank you from on behalf on all the Strap team. This is very important for us. We are a serious and transparent company. We are a serious and transparent company. And if you are not interested to be an early adopter or to keep with us during this last lap, you can always write to hello@strap.tech and request your refund. We know some of you have been waiting longer than others on your pre-order, and no one here is on this project and on this chip like obligated, right? We want all of you to be as excited as we are, even with the delays. Which I mean, when you're releasing such high-end technology with the COVID semiconductor shortage, it has been a really tough 2 years for the hardware industry, and they are just the same 2 years we opened the company. So it has been a really big challenge. Again, without all your support, this will never be able to be possible. And thanks that you guys, all you guys here, and all the other pre-orders that were unable to connect. Thanks to you is why we're here, why we are able to deliver in this product. But once more, if you, by any case and any reason, we hope you don't, but if any case, you can always ask for a full refund for your pre-order. The only thing that will happen is that after launching, if you want to buy again your order, you will need to wait longer for your delivery, and you will need to pay the full price. So we really recommend you not to do it, and to keep with us on this final lap. No matter how much time have you been waiting, this is the last step and the last big milestone for the product delivery. That's what we're doing this session. So Nimer, Kirt, thank you so much for your time, for backing us up, and for you being leading all these Ask Me Anything questions.
Yes, thank you so much from Tech Adventures. Thank you very much. We definitely appreciate all the work that you're putting in. And definitely check out blindtechadventures.com. This will be rebroadcast there, and I think I'm not sure if you guys are putting it up on your channels as well, but it will be on ours, on the YouTube and on the podcast going out. So thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Have an amazing week, and we will see you, and you will hear from us really soon. We're Strap Technologies. We are ready, and this is Ara.